Alrighty, and welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. I know I say that every time, but this is going to be another one of these different kinds of videos. So today is going to be my top 10 tips and tricks that a new player should know and should be doing, focusing on, etc. And so to start things off, the very first thing you want to do is go to your player icon here, your account thing, and you want to join the community Discord as soon as possible. This should be the #1 thing you do, and there are many reasons for that. One is the community is awesome. The devs are in there, they respond, they listen to all of the feedback, the posts, the suggestions you give, everything. There's tons of custom tailored advice. You could post screenshots. Basically, this last post right here, hold on, where did I say? Yeah, I always say that join the Discord until a social system rework occurs, just because there's so much you could do in Discord and it's such a powerful tool. And that'll tie into some of my later things, but that was #1, join the official Discord. The second thing a new player should be doing is every day you could do these 3 account buys for discounted energy, 1, 2, and 3. And you could do that for all of them, even including the power stones. The power stones are kind of a lesser priority right now. So as a new player, you want to be doing these 3. I already have so many banked up, but as a new player, you want to be doing these 3 and then these 3 every single day. And then later on, it'll get to a point where you'll only need to be doing these 3 every single day. And that'll be very important for pushing through the campaign and getting the mats that you need. So the raid keys are going to be giving you way more gear and just a better bang for your buck. And so if you are short on gems, it's best to do just these, and you could hold off on these, because in the long run they aren't as important for pushing farther as compared to just raid keys. What I use this energy for is whenever I get a new character and they are behind in gear, I always usually sort by gear, and I'll go here and I'll choose whatever my last couple of characters are for new characters, and that's what I'll be spending my normal energy on, because then I could go through and I can manually complete whichever stage it is that needs that gear. Say for example, I need these feathers, or this wood is usually a common one. I could go back and run those manually for the new characters I have, and so that's what I'll spend my new energy on. So that's the #2. Spend your energy buys doing these 3 and then these 3 every single day, probably for the first week or 2 at least, and then yeah, we'll go from there. The third thing you need to do is you absolutely need to join a good alliance. An alliance can do so much for you, absolutely so much for you, and the more prepared and better leadership the alliance has, the better of a time you'll have towards the end game and grinding towards the end game with these people. And the alliance you have, you really want them to create their own Discord for that. And so this is the Discord for my alliance, Sins of the Ancient. If y'all are interested, you could more than welcome. I'll go ahead and link it down at the end of the video, but you could check that out and see what kind of things you want for your alliance Discord. And if you need help with it, go ahead and ping me in the official Discord, or hop into my own alliance Discord here. Ping me, I will personally come in and help you guys set up your own Discord if you so need that. It is so important with progression. Maybe I'll share some screenshots of what kinds of things you could do within your Discord, but we use it to keep up with members. We follow up with them to see how they're doing, what plans they have. We have different sorts of raid coordination. We do feedback from the members as we're growing as an alliance. I remember we'd ask, like, all right, what is the next thing we want to do? Do we want to push this harder raid, or do we want to keep waiting on? These were the kinds of decisions you could do within the Discord, just because the alliance chat is a little bit limited right now. They did do a whole bunch of rework on it, and so it's a little bit limited on that. And so being in that Discord is so vital in earning the mats you will need in the alliance shop, and the most important will be these red mats. Basically, you're going to do easy raids, you're going to be doing normal raids, and then as soon as you start doing hard raids is when you'll about unlock these. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to save these alliance mats you're going to be getting, and you're going to wait until you can buy these. That's what you'll need to do. So the alliance Discord, or the alliance, is going to be super important. So that's it. Another thing is, I can't show it on this, but when you have your new characters and you are progressing through the campaign, and you have so many things, you're going to spend a whole bunch of time just blowing through the first 2 worlds. And then once you get to the 3rd world, that's where you start slowing down a little bit. I know Titan Golem is a little bit difficult for some people, but it's once you reach Kraken, that's when it's the first true hard boss. So you could plow through the first 3 worlds as new players. Oftentimes, any new characters you'll get will get left behind. And so the tip I want to give you guys is number 4, gear your roster as evenly as possible. So you don't want to go through and have only 15 characters to meet the rec that you need for this boss. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and click him, and you go him, and he requires tier 4 characters and 15 of them. So you don't want to have just 15 characters geared up. You want to make sure that you have all of your characters gearing them up as evenly as possible. So you run through, you use your raid keys on whichever one has the largest group. So if I'm working from T5 to T6, I'm going to be doing the boss that will give me the gear for that. And I'm going to keep doing that boss until I no longer have the largest majority of my characters in that group. And then once I have all those T6 characters, then I'm going to move on and start working on the T7. And then what I'll be spending my energy on is, now that I've done that, I will start using the extra energy to go ahead and fill these out. And only once I have reached that point, then will I start fusing and crafting them, because it is far better to just get the entire gear drop than it is to spend all of my energy on this one piece and then all of this energy on this next piece. That could be 2 days for this amount. At lower levels, you can only be maybe a day or so for 1, maybe 2 characters, and you could do a couple of these. But the higher you go, the longer it takes to use normal energy to farm for these, and the more gear drops from the bosses become much more powerful, a greater value. And so it's just, you'll save so much time later if you upgrade all of your characters evenly. So that's a big tip I'm going to give you guys. The second thing, it's kind of like a 2-part where they are linked, but you're going to go to the store and you're going to have this shard shop. And this is going to be the best bang for your buck with the diamonds that you are going to get. And you're going to get heaps of diamonds. I'm like so many diamonds now, just because there's so many different kinds of sources. You get them from doing daily dungeon every day. You'll get them from here. You'll get them from arena every single day. You'll get a ton from doing your different feats every single day. Then you also get a ton from the achievements. Not so much from the bestiary, but there's just so many achievements here where you get tons and tons and tons of gems. And so what you're going to do is you're going to buy from these daily once you reach a certain point. I want to say it was around like world 3, world 4 is when you start being able to complete most of the quests. And I'm going to show you the quest, so I'm just going to go ahead and sort by loyalty. So you see there's different kinds of hearts here. So you click a character, and then you have their loyalty quest. And so most of these can be done, I think it's like 75 or 80% can be done by the time you complete World 4. There's a couple of them where they require the bosses of World 5 and 6, and nothing from World 7. And then from here, it's going to be similar, where most of them are going to be done by World 4, and I think there's just a couple that require the World 5. And so you're going to be able to get these done very, very early, and this is a very high priority for your quest. And so what that means is, in order to complete them, you are going to go in and you're going to go whatever thing, if you need to get sandworms for Healer's Adjust or something, you're going to go ahead and enter in, and you want to complete these manually. You don't want to hit farm, and you don't want to hit 50 every single day. You want to go ahead and complete them manually, because the earlier you could do that, the earlier you could start buying these every single day, and you will get enough gems to buy these every single day. And so that's going to be tip number 5. Complete the loyalty quest, buy from the shard shop. Number 6 is to manually first clear the challenges, which is going to be all of these quests as well. You want to get the 3 stars so you can start going back and farming them once you've reached a point. But these challenges that you have here, you need to push them, and you need to complete them very, very quickly. I think the first 3 you could complete very, very early within probably your first. By the time you reach World 4, you should be able to complete all of the T3 challenges. I've talked about them in their own separate videos. Tank challenges you can complete super early. Support challenges you can complete as soon as you have the characters. Same for tank challenges. And light armor, it's the exact same thing. This one is the most annoying, however, but it can still be done. And then these ones are just more a matter of time, where you'll complete this one first, and then range DPS first, and then medium DPS first, most likely. But you want to be completing these challenges and pushing them as soon as possible, because that is going to be your biggest grind, is getting the mats you need in order to upgrade their abilities. These T5 ones, they require a lot. And before we had I guess hold or like a drought for the T2 mats, but the new Tavern Book achievements, they have a specific section that are giving those out a lot, and it is more than covered for what you'll be missing. And so the earlier you could complete these, especially the T4 and T5 challenges, the better. So that's tip number 6, is get those fierce clear challenges done. Tip number 7 is to do the daily dungeon, and go ahead and do this every single day, and to also complete arena every single day. Just because if you look at the ranking, most people will easily be able to get into silver. I don't think there's enough players to do that, and so you could easily get into gold, and that's an additional 250 gems a day and 100k gold, which is another resource. You will need a lot of gold. So you get a ton from this. All you need to do is just enter in, and you don't even have to finish the battle if you want. You could just enter it in. But pushing in this is fairly easy to do, and it's very low effort in the sense that it's a time thing, where you go in, you do whatever. It'll probably take like no more than 5 minutes to complete all of your 4 battles, and so it's very, very low time requirement. This will be a little bit higher time requirement, but right now the player base is still low enough where most people should be able to get the top 85% within their first couple of days, and then within a week you should be hitting the top 60%, and that's, you know, an additional 250-400 gems a day. Like, this game gives out heaps of gems. It's extremely generous, so make sure you're doing those daily. The other thing is to you don't really need to push this tower. It does give a whole bunch of other achievements, and so that is very, very good to do, but you want to do your expeditions here evenly. You get several sources of these expedition tokens, and the most important ones are through your dailies. You get the most from your dailies, and then also in the monthly, the monthly login, you get very large amounts from here as well. And so logging in every day and collecting those does help out. But when you're leveling these up, in the way the current system works, they go up in tiers of 3. So a level 4 and 7 and then 11 are the big bumps here. So when you're leveling it up, you want to focus the shard slots first. And you could probably stop around 7 now, just because of the nature of the game has changed. So you could stop at 7, and then you could start working on your loot slots. I would probably just work on a single loot slot first, and then level it up that way. And then these follow the same patterns, where right now it's like 150 to 500, and then at level 3 it'll go to just straight 500. And so every 3 levels is a more permanent upgrade to the slots. And so this is very important that you level up these first, and then you work on just one, and then level these up. And you want to do these evenly. You don't want to just pour them all into that. Then the next one is to make sure you ask questions. This is a tougher game than what is on the mobile market nowadays. It does require effort. It's not I could go in and enter into a challenge. I'm gonna click go, or I'm gonna click farm, whatever, and then I can turn on 4 times speed and auto here once you have that unlocked. But it's not a game where you could do that. to a point. You can go back and do that once you've completed it, but up until then, it's not going to be something you could just go in and zoom right through everything like that. So asking questions once you reach those stopping points is going to be very helpful, and you're going to do that in the alliance that you're in the official Discord that you're in. You could even do that in global now that we have these filters, which you can see I've already answered a couple of questions here, but the best source is going to be in those alliances and in the Discord. And the 10th most tip is to have fun. This is a very fun game, a lot of content, a lot of stuff to do, and the achievements you get for it, completing these challenges for the first time, that is a major feeling of accomplishment. Unlike a lot of mobile games nowadays, where it's like, oh, I did a 10 times pool and I got some characters and I no longer feel a sense of accomplishment for completing these. These, it's like every single level in the beginning is like, oh yeah, what was a hard one here? 3-6, that was a really hard one for a lot of people. They're like, heck yeah, we finally beat this, and like you're so proud of like completing a normal stage. And so having fun with this is my 10th tip. Have fun. So that's me signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll definitely be coming forward with more guides, more different kinds of video tips, walkthroughs, everything I could possibly think of for this game. And if you're interested, you know, give me that like and subscribe. I will continue bringing you forth the content, whether or not receive it, but it just shows to me that you guys are enjoying what I'm giving you guys and you want to see more of it. And so I will see you all in the next video.